Hi, everyone. How are you? Happy Thursday to you. Hope you're having a great day. I want to spend some time talking about networking. So, we all know we have to do it, right? When you're going through success principles, or you're working with coaches, or you're working with business coaches, or one of the things they're going to tell you is that networking is essential to your success. So even I've been banging on about it over the last few weeks because it is super important. I'm seeing how it has been probably the single most strategy that people are using at the moment, or that my clients have been using to land roles in a really tight job market. We are going through some challenges, GFC pandemic challenges is also impacting in the job market. And so we have to use different strategies to try and land those roles that we want. So last year, right through COVID, Melbourne was in lockdown for a long time. I still had clients land roles, and only one of the clients I worked with landed a role through the usual job application process. So, applying on Seek, getting an interview, nailing the interview, and then getting the job offer. The rest of the clients landed their roles from LinkedIn reach outs, or from them reaching back out into their network. So reaching back out to people they'd worked with on previous roles. And I've seen a lot of that happening lately. And I think the reason, if I had to give my 20 cents worth on why I think that's happening, I'd say it's because people are in uncertain times, and what they want to do is hire someone that isn't going to cost them a lot of money, someone that they know that comes highly recommended. So they know there's a higher chance that they're not going to have a turnover with this candidate, right? So it's really expensive for companies to hire, and then it doesn't work out, and they have to go back to market and rehire for a particular role. So these days, so many companies are reaching into the network space, talking to their employees and asking them if they know someone who they would recommend. So I think that's why that whole networking concept and landing roles through the network is becoming bigger and bigger. But here's some things that I don't think a lot of people hear about networking. So advice that I want to share with you that no one probably tells you a lot about when it comes to networking. A lot of people come to me and go, oh, but networking feels icky. It feels icky. I don't want to do it. But the thing is, networking does elevate your chances of landing a role, especially a role that you desire. And if you've already worked in that previous space before, you can reach back out to ex-bosses, ex-colleagues, and so on. The first bit of advice I want to give you, the first tip, is that you need to handle your mindset. So don't approach networking with the idea that it's icky. Approach it with the idea that it's building mutual and beneficial relationships. If you look at networking as a means to building relationships first, where you come with the concept of reciprocity, you come to give first before you take, that is going to elevate you in people's minds, and it's natural for human beings to then want to return the favor when the time is right. So always give before you ask. The second idea I want you to take on or to think about is to help others achieve success. Zig Ziglar was the person who said you can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. It was huge back in the multi-level marketing days, and even still is, in multi-level marketing businesses, people often quote Zig Ziglar, and they often use that particular quote. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. So how come this concept works? Well, it helps breed loyalty. And as people grow and become more successful, they always, or most of them, often remember who helped them, who got them started, who forwarded their success, who opened doors for them, and will always want to return the favor. So I've landed a lot of my gigs from people that I helped first. Some of them even reported to me and then later on went to other roles. They went to other companies, were super successful, and would recommend me if there was a certain role in a company around program office management or around hiring for transformation teams. Those people that I had helped would go and say, I know the person that can do this job. They'd recommend me. I'd land an interview, or sometimes it would just be a coffee chat, and boom, landed the role. So I'd say 80% of the roles I've landed in my 25-year corporate career was done through the networks. I believe, if I look back, I think I only interviewed for 3 jobs in a 25-year corporate career. The rest of it, I landed through my network. The other thing I want you to think about when it comes to networking is know your value proposition. So what I mean by that is have something, a sharp, concise elevator pitch ready that you use, for example, if you were to meet someone in an elevator, or if you were at an industry meetup, or even at a workplace event, and people ask you the question, so what do you do? I'll give you an example of how you can position this. So my partner, for example, is in program management. And one of the ways he would position is, I'm a Melbourne-based professional program manager who consistently delivers complex projects on schedule, on budget, and is welcome back after the program delivers. Short, sharp, concise. But usually when you share that proposition value that way, it leads to the next question, which is, so how do you do that? And here's what you want to do. You always want to be in that space where you can continue to have a conversation about what you do and how you do it. Because I'm telling you, that actually stands out in people's minds. They remember that. And often when they have a role like that, they'll go, who is that person that I met at that event again? And if you've exchanged phone numbers and business cards, that's often how certain roles have happened. So when you get the follow-on question, so how do you do that? Here's where you expand on the value proposition with something like, so this is what my partner, for example, would say. I use my practical hands-on experience gained over 30 years to translate strategy into manageable pieces of work, prioritize those pieces, and find the right people to deliver the work. Again, short, sharp, concise, but a really good chance of having someone remember you and remember you when a role like that comes up. And that's happened often, So for example, if someone was to ask me what I do, I would go, I do various variations, but fundamentally it's something along the lines of, I help people fearlessly land jobs, ace interviews, and increase their income. Straightforward, simple. And everywhere I've gone and networked, I've had people go, wow, so how do you do that? And I go on to explain about my Happy Career program, which is focused and strategic coaching for those really serious about growing their career. And I do that through my exclusive coaching program. And people, sometimes people will go on and ask further details about that, but they often quite intrigued by the fact that there's an exclusive coaching program where I help people who are serious about growing their career, because some people aren't, and you can usually tell who is and who isn't by the way they respond. And speaking of my Happy Career coaching program, I will be opening an online membership where I teach the foundations of this program with the added element of creating a networking community. And why am I doing that? Well, I've seen the power of growing through community and being part of networks. Even now, my business has been growing and thriving because I belong to, I think, 2 business networks. And I've received lots of clients through these networks, because here's the thing. When you in community or networks, people get to know, like, and trust you. And that is super important for them then wanting to open up their networks to help bring opportunities to your door. It's always about being in that space where people know, like, and trust you first. Nobody is going to open up their networks unless they know, like, and trust you. And that's the benefit of belonging to networks, of being involved in spaces where you are contributing to others, they contributing to you, you're growing together. When opportunities come up, suddenly doors start opening. And so, look, I'm inviting people. If you'd love to have a look at the membership, you can see on the screen, there's a link to the membership sneak peek. We open up next Monday. And I'd love to welcome some people into the membership. If you're interested, comment below, direct message me, or simply go to the link. I'll put the link in the first comment as well. But it is on the screen. You can go straight to the link and have a look around, see if it's something that might be of interest. I look forward to seeing you there if you decide it is something you'd love to be a part of. In the meanwhile, remember, help others succeed first. Handle your mindset about networking. Don't go in there approaching it as an icky exercise. Approach it as building relationships, and know your value proposition and start using sharp and concise value propositions wherever you're networking or wherever you're meeting people. Tell them what you do in a short, sharp way. Make it memorable, make it compelling. And I'll bet there'll be some reach outs to you to explore opportunities, mutually beneficial opportunities. That's certainly what's happened for me, and it's certainly what is happening for a lot of my clients at the moment, and especially happened big time for my clients last year in 2020 through a very difficult and tight job market. Stay well and have a great day. Bye.